historical remnant of the past, but as dynamic element of the present and future. In doing so, it seeks to spark critical conversation that recognize the plurality of narratives, the need for inclusive heritage policies, and the potential of technology, including digital archiving, art, virtual reality, in revitalizing historical knowledge and engaging younger generations. Ultimately, this seminar aims to critically examine the threats facing our cultural legacy and to explore innovative, sustainable strategies for preserving and promoting heritage in all its forms for the benefit of future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I request the convener of this national seminar, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Naik sir, to deliver the welcome address and provide brief introduction about our guest.
Good morning, everyone. Most esteemed Vice Chancellor Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir, and esteemed Chairman, Postgraduate Council Professor Maskar Mehra sir, Chief Guest Professor Vyomakesh Tripathi sir, Chief Speaker on this occasion Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir, co-convener of this national seminar Dr. Sikasri Rai madam, coordinator of the seminar Dr. Rajasri Datta madam, and all the distinguished guests of the dais, dear delegates, and all the faculty members of Fakir Mohan University, students, our research scholars, and our SIP participants and media persons. It is my immense pleasure and honor to welcome you all to this special gathering, that is National Seminar on Stones to Stories, Ancient, Medieval and Modern Heritage in Perspective. On behalf of the Department of History and Archaeology, I extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed dignitaries and respected faculty members, scholars, students and guests, those who have joined us here today. So here, let me tell you that heritage is not merely the inheritance of monuments and artifacts, it is the living memory of civilizations, societies and peoples from our ancient stone tools and inscriptions to medieval temples and forts and onward to colonial and post-colonial structures. The layers of heritage, it reveals complex narratives about identity, power, spirituality and cultural continuity. This interdisciplinary seminar, it explores the journey of heritage through the ages from ancient monuments and medieval traditions to our modern cultural narratives. In this occasion, we are blessed to have two eminent persons like Professor Vyomakesh Tripathi and Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir on this occasion. Professor Vyomakesh Tripathi, the Vice Chancellor of Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak, is an eminent historian and archaeologist. He previously held the position of Vice Chancellor of University of Culture, Bhubaneswar, Professor at Rajiv Gandhi Central University, Itanagar. Dr. Tripathi holds an MA, MPhil and PhD in history along with a postgraduate diploma in archaeology from the Archaeological Survey of India, New Delhi. His academic specialization lies in ancient Indian history, culture and archaeology with a particular focus on the history of Northeast India. Dr. Tripathi has made significant contributions to Indian historiography through his extensive research and publications. He has authored and edited several important books, including a comprehensive history of Arunachal Pradesh, Buddhism in Northeast, cultural heritage of Arunachal Pradesh, then religious history of Arunachal Pradesh, a sources of history of Arunachal Pradesh and many more. His interest in museology is reflected in ethnographic museum and his contributions to Odisha's historical studies are encapsulated in the two volumes of works, that is recent researches in history, culture and archaeology of Odisha. Then apart from these, we also got an opportunity to have with us Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir, we are truly privileged to have among us a guest whose contributions to the field of archaeology, particularly in Odisha. I am delighted to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir, a highly respected archaeologist who has affiliated with the Archaeological Survey of India. Dr. Patnaik formerly worked as the Superintendent Archaeologist of the excavation based in Bhubaneswar. His remarkable career is marked by numerous important discoveries and site excavations in Odisha. Dr. Patnaik also played a major role in the discovery and exploration of an underground tunnel at Khandagiri, Bhubaneswar in the year 2015. Dr. Patnaik's work, it reflects a rare blend of meticulous field research, scientific inquiry and deep cultural sensitivity. His contributions have been invaluable to the preservation, documentation and interpretation of Odisha's rich archaeological heritage. We are indeed honored to welcome Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir today, and we look forward to hearing his insights and experiences which will undoubtedly enrich our understanding and inspire further scholarship. Apart from these two scholars, there are also other eminent personalities, those who are going to join in this seminar. They are Professor Ashok Kumar Patnaik, former Professor of Utkal University, Professor L.A. Rao sir, former Professor Barampur University, Professor Sanjay Kumar Acharya, former Professor Utkal University, Dr. Tilok Thakuria, Associate Professor and Head from Northeastern Hill University, Meghalaya. With this brief introduction of the guests, I conclude my speech here. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Chairman Postgraduate Council, Professor Bhaskar Mehra sir, to address the gathering.
समस्तको नमस्कार. Good morning to one and all. Most esteemed Vice Chancellor and President of this inaugural function, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi, esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Premakas Tripathi, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Tribal University of Amarkantak, esteemed Chief Speaker of this program, Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik, Superintendent Archaeologist, Bhubaneswar, esteemed convener of this national conference, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Naik, co-convener Dr. Shikhasri Rai, coordinator of this program, Dr. Rajasri Datta, respected professors of Fakirman University, esteemed delegates, present paper presenters, research scholars, students and media friends. On behalf of my university and own behalf, I welcome you all to this 2 days national seminar on Stone to Storage, Ancient, Medieval, Modern Heritage and Perspectives. It is a great pleasure and happy moment for our university that another national conference is added to the list of Fakirman University, where the Department of History and Archaeology is organized this important seminar. Sir, for your kind information, our university is small but green and beautiful. The campus is free of plastic, diesel and petrol-free vehicle and rich in biodiversity. At the outset, I congratulate the organizing Department of History and Archaeology, particularly the staff members and students of this department, that they have successfully going to organizing this national seminar. I wish all success of this seminar and hope the outcome of this seminar will be very much beneficial to our future researchers as well as the society. Once again, I welcome you all to this national seminar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now it is the time for release of souvenir. I request the dignitaries to please do the needful. I request the students to come forward with the seminar, with the souvenir, and I request the dignitaries to please do the needful.
ରେଜିଷ୍ଟ୍ରେସନ୍ରେ ଅଛି।
Moving forward, now we have felicitation of our guest. I request our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir, to please felicitate Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vamokesh Tripathi sir. I request sir to please felicitate Dr. Jeevan Patnaik sir. I request sir also to please felicitate Dr. Tilok Thakuria sir, Associate Professor and Head Department of History, Northeastern Hill University, Meghalaya. I request the audience to please give a big round of applause. Now I request Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Vamokesh Tripathi sir, to please felicitate our esteemed Vice Chancellor of Fakir Mohun University, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir. I request now the convener of this national seminar, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Naik sir, to please felicitate Chairman Postgraduate Council, Professor Bhaskar Behra sir. I request convener to please felicitate Chairman Postgraduate Council, Professor Bhaskar Behra sir. And now I request Chairman Postgraduate Council, Professor Bhaskar Behra sir, to please felicitate the convener of this national seminar, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Naik sir. National Tribal University, Amarkanda, Professor Bamukesh Tripathi, sir, to please address the gathering.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Pakistan University, Palestine, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi, today's keynote presenter, my senior, seasoned archaeologist, Dr. Jivan Kumar Naik, patron of this seminar, PG Council Chairman, Professor Bhaskar Behera, coordinator of the seminar, co-coordinator, CAPA presenter, guest, student friends, and media friends. At the outset, I would like to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor for giving me an opportunity to come to Pakistan University, Baleshwar for the first time. When Vice Chancellor told me to attend the seminar, I told him, sir, I will come in. I know that this university is every day it is huge because of the excellent job of the Honorable. As an intellectual of Odisha, serving outside of Odisha, we always feel proud of him. 24/7, a Vice Chancellor working for 24/7. This is rare in Odisha. My Vice Chancellor at Amarkanda used to tell me, if you will be Vice Chancellor tomorrow, you have to work 24/7. Otherwise, you are not called a Vice Chancellor. I am happy that Professor Santosh Tripathi has come up with this idea of serving not only Baleshwar, serving the motherland Odisha. Thank you, sir. Coming to this seminar, I must congratulate the department because you understand the theme. That theme starting from stone to stories. Now we see after 1990, you will see after 1990. What happened in 1990? What a new era of globalization. We call it LPG, liberation, privatization, globalization. What does it mean? It means that after 90, the world became a small village. The world has become a small village. We have a good communication system. Then slowly after 90 we will see we have this computer. Other media started. Again it is bringing the world into a small area. What is the problem with us then? As Mahatma Gandhi used to tell us, we have to open our windows to get the fresh air from outside. That's fine. But then having said that, we must understand we are a nation, proud of our culture, tradition, ethos. And not only the people who are living in the plains, we are proud of our brethren in the forest area, mountain areas, our tribal population. We have a lot of heritage. And our heritage, as you know, you are a student of history. Or if you don't read history also, everybody knows from the class 7 that our heritage starts sometimes from the prehistoric age. This stone culture started from prehistoric age. Of course, it has developed from, we call it, Paleolithic period to Mesolithic period to Neolithic period. This period is divided because of the development of technology. Technology is the most important factor behind this. And what man wanted, Paleolithic period, man was a wanderer. He was wandering in the jungles. He was living in the caves. Slowly he was getting down. He was settling down, settling for agriculture, settling for rearing of cattle. That's Neolithic age. Then we have from the Mesolithic period onwards, we have a number of hundreds of rock art sites. Odisha के सोनी पे जगह है भीमबेटका, sorry, मध्य प्रदेश में जगह है भीमबेटका. गोटे जगह रे हजार पेंटिंग अछि. गोटे जगह रे रॉक आर्ट पेंटिंग 1000 अछि, 1000. It is near to Bhopal. You can see there the painting tradition continued from Mesolithic period to historical period. That means our heritage started from prehistoric period and it is continuing up to Neolithic period. After Neolithic, we always read Indus Valley civilization, Samachani Indus Valley civilization. Now it is being called Saraswati Indus Valley civilization. आपण पढुथिबा ताको सर आमे कहू इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन आमे आजिकल ताको जो सरस्वती वैली सिविलाइजेशन काहे कि कारण हला जति कि इंडस साइट रे साइट नाही सरस्वती वैली ताको बेसी साइट मिलछि से पे भारत आर्कियोलॉजिस्ट वाला जे कहउछन्ते दिस शुड बी कॉल्ड सरस्वती इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन मो सेत्र जको चाहबी मो खाली कहबा कथा we started from prehistoric period we started from Paleolithic age we continued up to Mesolithic age, then Neolithic age when people, men or women, they started to live in villages, started their agriculture, and then we have a period, Indus Valley civilization, where specialized art and craft started. What is specialized art and craft? Art started in metal. As you know, Indus Valley civilization was called a Bronze Age. And do you know how bronze is prepared? Bronze is prepared by mixing copper, tin and alloys. That means their technology was increasing. Their technology became sophisticated. Once technology becomes sophisticated, we have the specialized art and craft. You know the history of Indus Valley civilization, I am not going there. Later we will see we have an age called Iron Age. This Iron Age brought revolution in the world. One great archaeologist, Professor Gordon Child, tells us that from Neolithic period, this revolution started. And this Iron Age again pushed it. Once iron was there, we have a new cities, establishment town, we have a writing, we have a coins. These are all heritage only. We have a coins, we have new buildings, we have new architecture, new knowledge system that started from the Iron Age, that is from 1000 BC onwards. 600 BC we will see in the context of the history of India that dynastic history started. 6th century BC ରୁ dynastic history ଆମର started हम जते बही पढू हम पढू मौर्य होइछु मौर्य आगु टिके आरंभ होय dynastic age started and dynastic is what happened Maurya had their own contribution you know we have two inscription of King Ashok special property of Ashok in Odisha one is at Dholi Ellari Jowgad हमको बहुत बड़ा लोग पचारती तो कलिंग वार हला से ओडिसा रे काहे की लेखा हला गोटे क्वेश्चन इतिहास लोग पचारे जाए कलिंग वार तो ओडिसा रे हला तार एविडेंस काहे की मिलिनी डू यू नो व्हाई इट वाज नॉट हियर Ashok was a very cunning king that's why he was called great he knew very well that Kalinga were very fighting people so जानते थे कलिंग को पढ़ते तो हरे देनी but again they will come up that's why he did write that he defeated Kalinga in Dholi or Jowgad and he wrote in a place border of Afghanistan now it is called Shahbazgadi he wrote there and do you know why he wrote there he wrote there because he knew that the Greeks will attack India the Greeks may attack India so he wanted to give a message to the Greeks you see I have defeated a powerful country like Kalinga if you dare to cut across this area you will have the same fate so this is about how you see a inscription also provides us our heritage of the period then of course we come to a period in the 6th 7th century AD and this is the period when temple architecture evolved in Odisha not that temple architecture started in 6th 7th century AD it was started before but today what we get in Bhubaneswar is started from 6th 7th century AD and Dr. Jivan Patnaik will show you this slide only thing I will tell you that the Odishan artist had a vast experience of architecture. They had a huge knowledge of architecture. And that's how we see they have blended various traditions. Let me tell you one thing here before going to heritage. Odisha, you see the geography of Odisha. And do you know there is no place in the world which is indigenous. We get influences from various parts of the world. If you see Odisha, we have two streams of migration. One is from South Odisha, South India to South Orient Odisha to Coastal Odisha. This is the beginning migration. For your information, the Gangas, you know, the Gangas, they have constructed all the big monuments. Do you know where from Gangas came? They came from Karnataka. This is the beauty of culture. They came from Karnataka. And with this idea, having that idea, They came here, they took the Odisha knowledge system and brought this gigantic temples at Bhubaneswar or in Karnataka. Like that, from 6th and 7th century AD, we had another wave of migration. That migration comes from central India. Have you seen Mahanadi? Mahanadi comes from central India. Mahanadi flows from Chhattisgarh. And that Mahanadi was the trade route. Near the Mahanadi trade route, connecting Mahanadi to coastal Odisha. And for your information, you have seen beautiful temples at Bhubaneswar. Rajani Mantra dekhite ho. Rajani Mantra dekhite ho. Jansi se mantra log kyun log bane thile? They all came from central India. They are called Somavansis. They were called Somavansis. What I mean to tell you, हमें कौन सी heritage, हमारा heritage था, but we have different streams of influences. We have influences from South India, we have influence from Central India, but the Odisha artist took a point to crystallize all the things and gave it a shape which Odisha was wanted. तापर कौन है? Odisha artist wrote different texts. कौन से text लगा ना? Silpa Pradipa, Silpa Prakasa. These texts were written in Odisha. Why they written? So that the artist will follow the canonical text. जैसे मंदिर बना है थी, मंदिर अभी भी बना जाएगी, ताकि text अच्छी. मतलब ओडिशा रा heritage इतनी डेवलप थिला, शेषों में सारे text लखु थे. Architecture के भी बनेगा. This has to be appreciated. One more point I want to tell you. You have seen Khandagiri Udayagiri. बहुत discussion में Khandagiri Udayagiri पर Greek influence थिला. Question Greek influence थिला कि this is the only place in the whole India among the Jaina art and architecture. First century BC रे भारत रो कौन सी जगह रे 117 के भारत रे Jaina architecture नहीं. Can you imagine this? Odisha people has contributed a lot to the Jaina heritage also. And Buddhist heritage, you know everybody that in fact in the whole of Eastern India, जदि कहाँ पाखरे बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट 20 अछि हम पाखरे बुद्धिस्ट टेक्स्ट 20 अछि नाउ यू टेल मी व्हाई पीपल डू नॉट नो इट हमें वैसे तापर रिसर्च करलो लास्ट 20-25 इयर्स a number of research is going on excavations is carried out और हमारा बुद्धिस्ट लोग अछि starting from our border आजिका border नो आजिका border बालेश्वर सरेला से समय बेंगल भी border थिला हम starting from that period to Andhra we have hundreds and hundreds of Buddhist sects. That means in the 7th, 8th century AD, not only Jaina heritage prospered in Odisha, not only Brahminical heritage prospered in Odisha, but also Buddhist heritage was prospered in Odisha. This heritage of Odisha continued up to 13th, 14th century, and after that it declined. What does it mean decline? Decline means it was not at pace what was in 7th, 8th, or 9th, 10th century AD. But then it is continued to be in different parts of Odisha. As you see, in Sambalpur, there is Chauhan dynasty. In South Odisha, we have Bhanja dynasty. So various regional dynasties they prospered, and they tried their best to promote Odisha art and architecture in different parts of the Odisha. This is one. But having said that, I must tell you, having heritage plenty is not our glory. The credit goes to Odishan people. They have shaped it also. Hardly compared to other monuments of the world, our monuments are not destroyed. And do you know why it is not destroyed? Our people had awareness. That's why they are not destroyed. And one more thing, after independence of India, we have Archaeological Survey of India, they are trying their best. We have state archaeology trying their best. But problem is that, you see, there are some monuments which puja panti nahi. Mandir to puja honi. Se mandir bhangi jo to kei dekhibeni. सब मंदिर पूजा पाइबा बहुत दरकार मंदिर यदि पूजा न पाइबो से मंदिर एंती भांगी जीवो लोक ताकू जिबेनी कम्युनिटी हैज टू टेक ए लीड कम्युनिटी को लीड नबो पड़िबो मंदिर को प्रिजर्व कर पाइ भारत गवर्नमेंट पाखर एती पैसा नै के सब मंदिर प्रिजर्व कर देबे जदि कम्युनिटी पार्टिसिपेशन न हो से मूवमेंट रे से मूवमेंट बेसी चली पारिबो कोणार्क लिंगराज चालुची सरकार देखिछ सब मूवमेंट सरकार देखि पारिबो टाइम टू कम we have to think that the monument, the heritage is our identity. आमा जदि भाई बाबू का एग्जांपल देबे Dr. Jugan Patnaik was my senior. I am telling you, when we were classmates, I was a student in Institute of Archaeology in 1987. 1987 रे हमें दिल्ली रे आर्कोलॉजी पढ़थु At that time, one gentleman came from London. He was a director of Institute of Archaeology. Then he gave an example. से example कौन देले? गोटे चर्च थिला. से चर्च टा बेसी पुराना नथिला. 60-70 वर्ष चर्च. सकाळ बेला पडला कि चर्च टिके निया लागिଛି. टिके निया लागिଛି चर्च टिके निया लागिଛି. सडनली सकाळ बेला पडला 1000-2000 फोन आसानी चर्च हैला कोन. दिन हो केते लक्ष लोक दान करले कि नहीं चर्च रिनोवेशन हेबा पाई. What does it example tell us? Because people are associated with the church. हमको समय है we have to associate with our monuments. We have to take care of our monuments. Community has to take their role. যদি community participation हमर बढ़िबो तो जो monument हमर neglected अछि से monument भला पर रहि पारिबो. This I have told you tangible monuments. अब ये सब कहबी जदि भी tangible monuments important, equally important is intangible cultural heritage. आमे ताको ICH, intangible cultural heritage. Intangible कौन? Our ritual, our festival, knowledge of arts and crafts, our religion, our social behavior. These are called intangible cultural heritage. Intangible cultural heritage कौन problem अछि? More problem with intangible cultural heritage because of various factors. Globalization the what is? Our factor है Sanskritization. What factor है Westernization. Sanskritization, Westernization, modernization. This is a great impact on indigenous culture. अपन जोटा 30-40 वर्ष ट्रैवल रे जो देखुथिबे एबे बहुत कमी गला. ट्रेस जे देहितुनी अन्य जिनस किछि फॉलो होछि किछि ब्लेंडिंग हे गलानी. So how it can be saved? Because this culture is our identity. Intangible cultural heritage is the ethos of India. जदि इंडिया को जानिबार अछि intangible cultural heritage को जानबो पड़िबो. And India has a beauty that though there are hundreds of communities, all are colorful, all have a colorful festival, all are distinct, all have a distinct identity. This is the beauty of India. We are one because we have developed in various parts of India in one way that is called Indian culture. हम जो भारत वर्ष कल्चर हम नारे सब डेवलप करछु starting from northeast to Gujarat to Kashmir to Kanyakumari, that's our culture is important. Now how to save it? तो बंचो केंती हबो हमें हम यूनिवर्सिटी रे हम ट्रैवल में से बहुत डिस्कस करू. लास्ट वीक रे हमको पार्लियामेंट रो डका हितला. STSC committee called us, parliament committee. Then parliament I have to present for 45 minutes. हमें केमी ताको बंचे को रखि पारिबो. बंचे को रखि हबो कोन? हमें ताको ऊपर टिके जानिबा कथा पथि. हम बहुत लोग बहुत कुछ जानू. काहे कि जानू? काहे कि हम पाठ पढ देलु. तो दरकार नै. So people should understand others culture. We have to understand other culture. We have to appreciate other culture. हमें others heritage, other culture को appreciate करबा न सिखिले हमें हम कल्चर से जानि पारिबो. नंबर 1. नंबर 2 एमती काम होनी काम बहुत होची हमें ग्लोबल फोरम रे हम काम दिसिबा कथा. जदि हम काम बालेश्वर आ भुवनेश्वर दिसिला आ दिल्ली तो दिसिला किछि लाभ नै. ग्लोबल फोरम रे हम काम दिसिबा कथा. एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू हमर रिसर्च जो अछंती से माने ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड रिसर्च रे कम नहांती. ओनली थिंग वी हैव टू थिंक दैट वी हैव टू बीट आवर ओन ड्रम्स. जदि हम निजे निज ड्रम हम बचे पारिबा नाही हम कल्चर आपको जाई पारिबा. नंबर 3 है प्रिजर्वेशन केमती हो. म्यूजियम तो रखी देले ठीक है म्यूजियम रखी होला. आजिकल म्यूजियम एबे शिखा पड़ला वर्चुअल म्यूजियम नानी 3D म्यूजियम नानी म्यूजियम जिस रखियो पड़ो वर्चुअल म्यूजियम करियो पड़ो. आप अपन म्यूजियम पे बहुत जागा नहीं. सर को धन्यवाद कि से 7टा म्यूजियम मेड कर चलते कि समय आसबो म्यूजियम पे जागा है बोली. वी हैव टू थिंक अदरवाइज. हमें वर्चुअल म्यूजियम केमती कर पारे केमिति डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करि पारिबा जे रखि पारिबा. That we have to think. That we have to think for the future. And most importantly, it has to start from the family. आमे जदि निज पुआ झिया जनरेशन को न सिखेवा ए फेस्टिवल कोन रिचुअल कोन प्रैक्टिसेस कोन सारा पाठ पढबे ना. आ आजिकल जो आसी गला तो कंप्यूटर हमर जो इंफॉर्मेशन आसी गला सब पिला निजरा इंफॉर्मेशन छाडी के ना अन्य सब इंफॉर्मेशन देखिबे. निज बाबरे पिला इंफॉर्मेशन देखु नांती. So it is the duty of us, all of us, to see that our sons and daughters, they should also learn, they should be taught. These are our practices, these are our festivals, these are our traditions, these are our culinary approaches. ଆମେ କ'ଣ ଖାଉଛୁ କେମିତି ପିଠା ବନୁଛି, these are all comprising Indian cultural heritage. ଯଦି ଏତିକି ଆମେ ଧ୍ୟାନ ନ ଦେବା ଭାରତ ଆଗକୁ ଯାଇପାରିବନି. Honorable Prime Minister always tells us that India will go forward with only two things. One is culture, one is development. Development without culture is not development. से काई कहते जदि आमे कल्चर बंची के रखिबा हमर डेवलपमेंट सही से कहना इंक्लूसिव डेवलपमेंट केमिति हो. आमे जदि कल्चर भूली का डेवलपमेंट कोठे हो. तो कल्चर हैज टू बी a part and parcel of the life of all, and it is the duty of us to see that खाली आमे सिखिबानी it should be protected for future generation. again जेमति महात्मा जी कहते कल्चर बाहर आसू भल जिन आम कल्चर मिसाइल प्रोब्लेम ना बट इट्स आइडेंटिटी शुड नॉट बी लॉस्ट. जदि आम रज दिन अन्य किसी मानिदेला लाभटा कौन अच्छी पिला जानवे केमती. सो दैट शुड बी टॉट टू द यंगर जनरेशन. एंड दिस सेमिनार आई थिंक इन दिस कॉन्टेक्स्ट इट कैन प्रोवाइड एन आइडिया टू द यंगर जनरेशन दैट स्वामी आर्य समाज वाले कहते गो बैक टू द वेदर्स. आम से कहूँ आम कहूँ go back to our tradition, go back to our practices, go back to our ethos. जदि एक आम करें with scientific knowledge, no doubt India will be Vishwaguru very soon. And as our Honorable Prime Minister tells us that we have a new India in 2047. With this, friends, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, so much. Definitely, the culture of heritage is not just collection of sites, objects or rituals, as well pointed out by you. It is the soul of our nation, the pulse of its people, and definitely a treasure for our children. Thank you, sir, for taking out time from your busy schedule, joining this seminar and enlightening us with your vast array of knowledge. Thank you. Now I request Dr. Jeevan Kumar Patnaik sir, distinguished archaeologist, to address this gathering.
Good afternoon, esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Tripathi sir, my dear guests of the dais, ladies and gentlemen, students, faculty members, and all. So it is an opportunity for me. I feel it is a proud privilege for me that I have been invited by Professor Tripathi to share my views about this seminar, from stones to stories, ancient, medieval and modern heritage in perspective. Of course, Professor Tripathi, my previous speaker, chief guest, he has already told about many things about this heritage. Of course, heritage, if we define the word, it has a broader meaning. It cannot be constricted. So, what heritage actually literally it means? Heritage which we inherit from our past, and it should be safeguarded, well maintained by us, and it should be handed down to the posterity, the future generation. That is heritage. Heritage is everything. It's the mainstay of life. Without heritage, we cannot think what life is. So you see that cultural heritage. I add one more point. Cultural heritage. That means it is just a heritage which is legacy of physical artifacts and intangible attributes of a group of society that are inherited from past generation, maintained in the present, and bestowed for the benefit of the future generation. That is the cultural heritage. So Professor Tripathi has lessened my burden. He has already told out many things about this heritage. So tradition which it started from the dawn of the civilization, right from Paleolithic age, and it continues and it will be continuing forever. So that is heritage. It has existed for a long time. That is the importance of our nation. So the main objective of the heritage is to protect, to preserve the cultural and natural assets for the future generation, and to foster a sense of identity belonging to and promote cultural understanding for the economic benefit. So friends, this time limit that they have given, that ancient, modern, medieval, that means it covers everything in history. So heritage, which we call, it is almost a story of man or mankind. It encompasses many activities including conservation, education, tourism, sustainability, everything. For a kind information, heritage means in this mortal world, we can say that the natural heritage and man-made heritage. These are the two important things. Natural heritage means your river, mountain, valley, whatever which has been created by God, that has nothing to do with the creation of the man. But man-made heritage or cultural heritage is the product of human being in the past. Okay, so we can say this man-made heritage, as you know that it is both movable and immovable. Movable means we have divided into this man-made heritage is into movable and immovable heritage. Movable means your sculpture, coin, small object of antiquities. These are all, it can be transported or carried out, carried away by one place to another place. But immovable heritage means you are great gigantic monuments, monasteries, Buddhist monasteries, Jaina monasteries, Christian church, Islamic buildings. These are all and fort and fortification that cannot be, carried away. It is all just simply immovable. So these are also known as built heritage or material heritage. Built heritage are immovable and material heritage are movable heritage. Just I am giving you the typology, and as Professor Tripathi has also mentioned about intangible heritage. Intangible heritage is also another type of heritage which deals with your custom, tradition, oral tradition, folklore, legend, and expression of art. All these things, these are all intangible. We cannot touch it, but we can feel its importance. For example, this Bali Jatra, Rath Jatra, Durga Puja, festival, all festivities and religion, and these are all customs and performing art. These are all intangible heritage. So since in the past age, it has been continuing with the same vibrant ethos. These are these intangible heritage. Why to preserve this heritage? What is the objectives to preserve all this? If we do not give any attention to this, it will die definitely. So it is our imperative duty or the important job is to know and understand what you are and who you can be. That is the first one. Second one, to conserve and preserve the heritage for the posterity or the future thing for the next generation. Then in order to preserve all these things, what you have to do? To document. Documentation is the first thing, so that you can have a blueprint for conservation and preservation, so that it will continue forever. Then regarding this preservation of heritage, we have to create awareness. That is why we require community participation. Only as he mentioned that government or government agencies they cannot do. Only conservation measures by doing this thing they can save the monument. No, that you have to become a stakeholder of each of the monument and each of the site in your locality. Then only it can survive. So that means community participation is a must. Okay. So all these things. That is why heritage is most important. So another important thing is that why heritage is important or vital for understanding our past. You know, past, present, and future. And this creates a sense of identity. So there will be no identity crisis for the generation and the community. So this heritage, particularly it provides a legacy of the previous generation, informs and action today and shapes for the future we pass on. Protecting heritage also offers economic and social environmental benefit. See that preservation heritage in India. So we have government of India has also done a lot of things. So to preserve all this cultural heritage, strengthening legal protection of the things that government or state government they have also formulated government of India Acts, AMS Act 1958 and AMS Act 2010. Similarly, Treasure Trove Act and Indian Monuments and Antiquity Treasure Act 1972. All these acts are very important for the preservation of cultural heritage. Then, cultural awareness. We, in spite of all this legal enforcement and rules and regulations, we also conduct several festivals or events in the monuments and sites, particularly state protected monuments and central protected monuments. For example, I am giving you that we are celebrating World Heritage Day, World Museum Day, and World Indian Heritage Week, International Heritage Week also in November 19 to 25. So all these, they are all for public awareness, so that we can involve our people to participate. Particularly all these events, we imbibe the awareness among the younger mass, how to better preserve the heritage objects and heritage things, so that it will recreate or reconstruct their future experience also. So fostering cultural and revival and training experiences and continuing of traditional skills. So this people, the PPF mode I'm going to say that adopting heritage schemes and CSR schemes for the betterment of the heritage. So just I am giving you this the things. So far in India we have World Heritage Monument 44 like monuments in the Indian subcontinent, out of which 35 have been cultural heritage monument. 8 monuments are of natural heritage, and one is mixed heritage group. That has been to be decided by World Heritage Committee of universal outstanding value. Those who have these monuments and sites can be incorporated into World Heritage list. Okay, so total in global context we have seen that we have more than 1020 numbers of World Heritage sites, and out of which India stands fourth in this number. China is number 1, Italy is number 2, then Spain is 3 and India is 4. So far, archaeological monuments of India is concerned, we, the Government of India, Central Protectorate Monument, with 3,697 monuments have been protected by Archaeological Survey of India, and it has been managed and maintained by Archaeological Survey of India. Then in Odisha, we have 81 monuments, centrally protected monuments, under the purview of two circles, Puri Circle and Bhubaneswar Circle. Then 214 central state protected monuments. So these monuments, as either cultural heritage properties, they are the witness or silent witness of our previous civilization. For example, I told about this Paleolithic period to till modern day. We have also very important site that is Kuliana and Kuchai, Vaidipur. These are also very near to this Baleshwar. They have embodied the story of the Paleolithic or of this prehistoric times to modern period. You can say that Haripurgarh in Mayurbhanj district and Ajodhya in your Baleshwar district, Kupari in Bhadrag district. Then we are all literally you can say that Odisha is full of cultural heritage. So my next lecture I will explain about the Buddhist monument, particularly in the Virupa Chitrakola Valley, that is a Lalitagiri excavation. So that I also participated in that great site of Lalitagiri, the great cultural property or cultural heritage site that was excavated and participated by me, and I have also authored one book about this Lalitagiri excavation. I would like to present Vice Chancellor that my work, excavations at Lalitagiri, sir. Please. This is the book, sir. So, I'm not going into details about this ancient, medieval and modern heritage, but as an ex-member of Archaeological Survey of India, I have my priority that how best we can preserve our cultural past. That is my priority. I have also done that explorations in Brahmani River Valley from Barpur to Kamakhya Nagar, and I have discovered more than 600 sites. I myself and my team, they have also discovered right from Paleolithic period to early historical period. Then I have participated also Saraswati Heritage Project in Rajasthan, Darkhanawala Dera, and Chowk Chowdhury, that is in Rajasthan. So, in Dholavira also I took participation in this Saraswati Heritage Project, as Professor Tripathi has mentioned about the Sindhu, the Indus Saraswati Valley civilization, that currently he has pointed out this thing, and we have also collected lot of information about Saraswati civilization sites, particularly Haryana, Rajasthan and Gujarat. So I feel proud that I was a member of this National Saraswati Heritage Project. So, friends, there are so many things to say, but time is a constant. Otherwise, I could have also spoken about this heritage conservation. Why heritage conservation is also important, that is also need to be mentioned here. So, you know, if you say that if we excavate this thing, okay, excavation is nothing but exposition. But unless until it is visible it will be a destruction completely. So our also second next to excavation, we always follow its proper conservation. Okay, so that it will continue for the next generation. So these are some of the few points just I have pointed out about this preservation of our cultural heritage. So in the next class, event, I will describe about the excavations at Lorikiri. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak a few words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you very well pointed out that the past is our foundation, heritage is our pride, our heritage makes us unique. Thank you for your deliberation and also for your gift on excavation at Lolitagiri, which is being conducted by you. Thank you once again. So we have with us three distinguished dignitaries. I welcome Professor Lakshmi Narayan Raut sir. I welcome Professor Ashok Kumar Patnaik sir. I welcome Professor Sanjay Acharya sir. I request our esteemed Vice Chancellor sir to please felicitate Professor Sanjay Acharya sir. I request Vice Chancellor sir to please felicitate Professor Ashok Kumar Patnaik sir. Former Professor, Department of History, Uttar University. Audience, please give a big round of applause. I request Vice Chancellor sir to please felicitate Professor Lakshmi Narayan Raut sir, former Professor, Department of History, Berhampur University. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now I request our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir, to deliver the presidential address.
Esteemed inaugurator of the program, Professor Ramesh Tripathi, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Uttarakhand, esteemed Chief Speaker, Dr. Jeevan Kumar Patnaik, the Superintending Archaeologist, esteemed Chairman PG Council, Professor Bhaskar Behra, Coordinator of the Department and Convener of this program, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Naik, Co-convener Dr. Sikhasri Roy, coordinator of this inaugural session Dr. Rajasri Datta, colleagues from History Department, esteemed invitees, Madam Patnaik, professors, research scholars, dear students. I heard both the speakers, so we concluded 3 days seminar on Oriental language, that is Sanskrit. Yesterday it was concluded. And a remark was given that Vice Chancellor is always a Kaka Madhya Bapaj. Among historians and eminent historians, if I speak history, perhaps it will be the same situation, Kaka Madhya Bapaj. ତେଣୁ ମୁଁ ସେ ଧୃଷ୍ଟତା କରିବି ନାହିଁ, ଯାହା ବୁଝିଛି ସେତିକି କହିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବି। Heritage is obviously the identity of the culture and history of a civilization, as I understand. And it is the identity of art and artifact, architecture, and we are therefore proud of our heritage that is our temples, and we are moved when we think of their constructions, when we think of their designs, when we think of their architectures. We are proud of our palaces, the ancient houses. We try to attach us with the same structure. Therefore, we become proud, because it is the cultural identity which is hidden in that structure. Be it Pune or be it Raivani, we connect us when we visit those places. They are constructed by stone through ages. They are telling the stories, from stone to stories. If we look at Pune, Dharma comes to our mind. When it is Raivaniya, obviously the fort which protected Kalinga comes to our mind. Heritage reminds us the stories of sacrifices, the stories of love and respect, the stories of our ancestral lives, culture and history. Till date, they tell a lot of stories of truth and imaginations, folktales also. History has a role to read these stories. History has a role to read these sculptures, to read the art and artifacts, to find out the truth, to rewrite it. That is important as far as Odisha is concerned. It is told that we were into rich history, we are into rich history, we will be into rich history, unless it is written, unless it becomes lively. Perhaps our future generation will not be interested in history. Therefore, there is a responsibility of historians. Story of bikers were hard, but when it is written, came to dance for, perhaps we are reminded that we were a community rich with weapons, rich with fighting spirit. So the party said that after 1990, LPG made go as a small business. He said about the culture as rich, the tradition as a rich one, and we are also believing in richest culture and heritage. Our ancestors were rich with culture and heritage. When we talk about stories, when we recite stories, obviously it reminds us how rich we were. When we visit the places, it says us how rich we are. But it is the responsibility of us that we should give the message to our future generation that how rich we will be. If that is not done, perhaps we will miss the stories, we will miss the stones. And finally, we will be asked by the next generation what you have done if you have not written the history. When we talk about Kalinga War, which was recorded by Professor Tripathi, obviously we are confused whether Ashoka was great or the people who fought for Kalinga were great. Because history has not been written with facts. Some people say that it is it was not happened. Some people say that it happened, Ashok was defeated. Ashok says that he won. But it is the responsibility again of our historians to write the correct one. Whether it was fought, whether we won it or we were defeated, or Ashok won it or Ashok won it. Because greatness lies in history if it is written correctly. Same thing about Kharavel. 15-20 days back I was attending a meeting. Somebody told that Kharavel was not a king of Odisha. He was from central India who conquered Kalinga, then fought for the region. I do not know, I am not a historian. These confusions they are still about. But we are proud of Kharavel. We talk that he was the king who owned a large part of Kalinga. The facts should be actually placed before the people, so that as we said, as we all agree, that our future generation must know about our ancient culture. Odisha, as said by Professor Tripathi, was rich with knowledge, especially in art and architecture, which is acceptable, which is accepted by all of us, seeing Konark, seeing Jagannath Temple, seeing Limraj Temple, seeing Radha Temple, and many more. Even here, I had visited the Kuldiya. From ages, there is a Bhagavad, Sikasri must be knowing about. Who constructed it is not known, but it is told that when kings were going to the forest, they were taking shelter in that Bhagavad. History should be told why it is there. Many temples are there with many stories and many untold stories. We have to look into it as historians. As said by Professor Tripathi, Khandagiri and Udayagiri, yes, Jain heritage is well seen, and this Ratnagiri part, the Buddhist heritage is also well seen. But fact remains that it's not completely written. How it was, how it is, how it will be. And when you look at it, this as referred, that tangible cultural heritage and intangible cultural heritage, those are also equally important as far as the culture of Odisha is concerned. And we have to, I agree with Professor Tripathi, that we have to propagate, we have to preserve, and we have to start from the family itself to look into it. As said by Professor Jivan Patnaik, heritage is really that which is inherited, and we have inherited many things in Odisha. Wherever I go, I find something as a heritage or monument. And I agree with you, sir, that preservation is important because it reflects our civilization. And to foster our identity, preservation of heritage is very important. Mo Maro Pedi Petra, Mo Garuda Dinki, Mo Gaivi, tangible heritage. Mo Garuda Hati Sundia, Ora, Mo Gaivi, obviously heritage. Protection, preservation starts from that. We must be very careful about it. Moga Nilakanteswar Mandira, Jakwaja 300 वर्ष पुराना मंदिर पूजा अर्चना चालची बोधे अच्छी जहाँ लोगों साथ पहले नथले बोधे हजी जाई था पुराना मंदिर बड़ा भांगी जाई मोर किंतु अधिकार नहीं था भांगी नुआ करिया पाए मोर दायित्व अच्छे तक सुरक्षित रखिया पाए एवं मो वो जियो नाती नाती न पाए साइड रखिया पाए. With this message, I thank you all that accepting our invitation, many eminent scholars of history have come here, and you are all hearing the speeches with patience and silence. Therefore, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, you very well brought out that heritage is the legacy of ancestors. It is the keystone of our culture, civilization, society, politics, economics, as well as worldview. People's relationship to their heritage is as strong as the relationship of a child to his or her mother. Thank you, sir, for a wonderful address. So we have come to the end of this inaugural session. I request my colleague, Dr. Akash Malik, an Assistant Professor, Department of Anthropology, to deliver a formal thanksgiving.
Good afternoon, one and all. Most esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Venkatesh Tripathi sir, today's Chief Guest, respected dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries and delegates of the dais, respected faculty members, participants of the seminar, research scholars, students of the Pokemon University, SIP participants, and media persons. We have now come to the end of the inaugural session of the 2 days national seminar on From Stones to Stories, Ancient Medieval Modern Heritage in Perspective, organized by the Department of History and Archaeology, Pokemon University.
I, Dr. Akash Malik, take the privilege to deliver the formal Thanksgiving of the inaugural session. At the very outset, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Santosh Kumar Tripathi sir, whose visionary leadership and constant support have been the guiding force behind the conception of the seminar. Sir, your commitment to foster academic dialogues and discourses continues to motivate us, and we are truly grateful for your encouragement and involvement. Thank you, sir. We extend our sincere thanks to Professor Bomkesh Tripathi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Tribal University, Amarkantak, for gracing this occasion with his presence and for the inspiring inaugural address. Sir, your valuable insights were enriching and have surely set the tone of the seminar. Thank you. We are also deeply thankful to Dr. Jivan Kumar Patnaik sir, former Superintendent Archaeologist, ASI Bhubaneswar, for taking the time to be present here and extend his support with valuable words and insights on the monument's preservation, cultural heritage and others. We also sincerely pay our heartiest gratitude to respected Chairman, Postgraduate Council, Professor Bhaskar Behera sir, for his constant support and guidance and motivation to successfully organize the seminar. My sincere gratitude goes to our respected convener sir, Dr. Pavitra Mohan Nayak, coordinator of the Department of History and Archaeology, for his thorough guidance and support throughout the planning of the seminar. I also thank Dr. Shikhar Rai, co-convener of the seminar, the other respected faculties of History and Archaeology, all the respected organizing committee members, technical team, student volunteers and support staff whose efforts behind the scenes have made this inaugural session a very successful one. Last but not the least, a warm thanks to each one of you in the audience for your presence and your keen interest, which encourages us to strive for excellence in every initiative. With these words, I once again express our collective gratitude and look forward to an engaging and fruitful seminar ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Vice Chancellor, sir, to please end this inaugural session. I request all to stand up for the national anthem.
अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल जमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. So we'll have tea break for 10 minutes and we'll start with the first plenary session entitled as Redigging Heritage, Ancient, Medieval and Modern.
Good afternoon, everyone. I request all the participants who are outside of the room kindly come inside so that we can start the first plenary session. I request the volunteers to call upon all the participants who are outside. Now we are going to start our first plenary session entitled Rethinking Heritage, Ancient, Medieval and Modern. Now I would like to request Professor Ellen Rao sir to chair the session. Kindly come to the dais and chair the session. I request Professor Sanjay Acharya sir, kindly come to the dais. I request Ashok Kumar Patnaik sir and Jeevan Kumar Patnaik sir, kindly come to the dais. So today in this plenary session we have Professor Ellen Rao sir with us as the chair of the session, and we have to listen three distinguished speakers: Professor Sanjay Acharya sir, Professor Ashok Kumar Patnaik sir, and Dr. Jeevan Kumar Patnaik sir. So I request our Professor Ellen Rao sir kindly start.
At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this seminar and given opportunity to share our ideas on the subject. Professor on the dais, Professor Patnaik, my good friend, Professor Sanjay Acharya, and my student and good friend, Dr. Patnaik. All the delegates, invitees, scholars and student friends. I think we don't have too much of time to have very long discussions on the subject chosen for in this seminar. But I hope within 10 to 15 minutes we can have our own ideas, and at the end of the session I will have my concluding remarks. So before wasting my time, Madam Sikha, I think you have to coordinate the session because I don't have any paper with me. We are staying here from Bhubaneswar. Okay. Please say. Please coordinate.
Now I would like to request Professor Sanjay Acharya sir kindly come and deliver the talk.
Namaskar. Distinguished dignitaries of the dais and distinguished dignitaries of the dais. It's already 1:20. And I have a lot of things to say because the very topic from stone to stories is something very, very interesting. So I don't want to rush up today because stone to stories, heritage live on. So there are a lot of things that I would like to discuss and put in a PowerPoint presentation which I have come with. So I think I will not be saying anything today. I just had a talk with Dr. Sikhasri, and I'll be presenting whatever I have to say tomorrow. Tomorrow first session will be preliminary session. I'll talk so that at least Jeevan sir Raul sir and Professor Ashok Patnaik will have time at least to say. Now, the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't think I'll be able to say what I have to say. Thank you.
Esteemed respect the meeting, my friend, Mr. Raut, Dr. Jiban Patnaik, our superintendent of ASI, Professor Sanjay Acharya, Professor Ramesh Tripathi, sitting before me, Madam Patnaik, and other dignitaries in the audience, and the students and sisters. Always I make a complaint to Sikasri. During our Heritage Week, Heritage Day, why always go to ancient history? That all the people doing, there is heritage in medieval history. There is heritage in modern Odisha history. Why forget us? Always we invite people from archaeology, state archaeology, national archaeology, national this ASI and finance. So this time he said, very celebrated, he requested me to come. I said, I'm busy elsewhere. So I said, I will come to later on. But there is heritage in modern times. I am born and brought up in Balasur. Then I went to live in Bani. Then I moved to various parts of Odisha. In my job and after my retirement. I find heritage everywhere. Of course, I cannot make classification as Dr. Jiban Patnaik has made. Tangible, intangible, all these categories are there. But what I see and what I saw, I explain in a simple manner. When I joined Department of History, 1987, 11th of February 1987, Professor Behra was the Vice Chancellor. Sorry, he was the head of the department. K.S. Behra, the Vice of this university. He said, also, session is going to be end. So what will teach? I talking of my choice, no. What is left in the department, you have to teach it. What is that? Indian culture. I look at this place. Indian culture. I have never read in my whole life. Indian culture. How you teach it? It was questions all night. I have read it. I can teach it. He said, Indian culture. Do you think it is only for ancient India? No. Indian culture is modern culture is there. Medieval Indian culture is there. I said, what will teach? Now you teach modern part of Indian culture. What is that? Missionaries. The role in education and health services. Growth of people movements. Renaissance, meaning. That was a compulsory paper in our time, at that time, in MA Part 1. There are no semesters. Growth of education. Female education. So these topics he said you can teach it, right? So at that time I tried to understand that culture is also, our culture also includes something of modern thinking. So that's why when I look at the monuments taken there by Sanjay and other colleagues of History Department, there are once upon a part of a department, also there is a department, it taken us to Lalitgiri, many places. So when you go there, what I find? The innumerable monuments, they show us that these are our heritage. But gradually when I grew up, I started to go various places. I tried to find out some monuments which was not in ancient history but in medieval history. Sometimes we find, like we to find many mosques in Odisha in medieval times. We find this Satyakir in Dhamnagar, in Vastara, in Balsar town, Puja Camp in Balsar town. So these are medieval monuments. And the tradition is there. Hindus will go there and we offer prayer there and we take a prasad, Rani Mudi. Mudi Kausiti, prasad jati. We go, Amma Bapa Mamu nahi jautile, Jada Pura korutile, Baba Pura soutile, Chetar Urdura Kwan gautila, prasad gautila, Boyro Pankare, Abdul Anshu dotila, we accepted that. So when I looked at these things, so what do you find? That is what. Then you come to the modern period.
Again, I saw the Balashwar. I said that I was brought up in Balashwar till I passed my BA in 1974. I've gone and seen. My father used to say, I was working in salt office. Where? Salt office. So when I started to understand what is administration, I went to father, Baba, where are you working? Salt office. Where is the office here? There is no salt office. The rare building in a collectorate is salt office. Other side is collector office. So these are two buildings at our time. Just after independence, my father has passed matriculation in 1947, and he joined a job at that time. It was available at that time job in British. So I saw the buildings, then I came back. My house is nearer to Fakirman's house. I looked at the house, the structure, old building was there. Professor Hemendas was staying there. After that, some students were making mess there, dilapidated condition. The type of the windows, the arcs in the old building, I looked at that. Then my father took me to Jila FM college. I joined FM college. My father went with me for my admission. Then my father said, this is my school. In which this is college? No, this is my school, Jila school. It is Jila school, but this is college. Yes. The front part of Jila school college is, this is school, Jila school. 1853, Jila school started. And this is the building. And the frontal portion was called British Hall. British Hall. There's a small gallery all over it. My father took me inside. He saw that some marble plaques are there. Who passed matriculation? In which year? And how many numbers? There is shown me a photo of that time, their teachers. The students were passed BA with half pant and full shirt. My father half pant and shirt. I said, the teacher sitting, girls were sitting on the ground, saris, and some boys with dhoti. What is this? Well, these students who come from village areas, they wear dhoti in the town. You are wearing half pant and a strap, half pant and full shirt. Yes, we are town boys. So I wear half pant and shirt. Teacher sitting, B.B. John was the principal, and teacher sitting there, they are full pant or dhoti. I looked at that tradition actually. So when I looked at all these things, I looked at Balaswar, near my native place. We all read. There is battle called Battle of Kulwari with the Marathas and Muslims on the side of Fulani to cross Budawada with the battle. On the other side of Balaswar, between Jajpur and Bhadrak, Battle of Bohia. Imagine two battles on two sides of Odisha. Not only that, go ahead. Jaleswar, others should fight. Mughal Mari, there is a place called Mughal Mari. Mughals are butchered there on the side of river Subarnarekha. So these are the things that we have read, we have yet to understand by our teachers in the class. In the class they are speaking about, there is no Odisha history compulsory paper, but they speak something about Odisha history. We can know that. We find Balaswar became district in 1827. For information, Jajpur was a part of Balaswar district. You were astonished? I was astonished. Jajpur was a part of Balaswar district, yes. But it became a separate, it joined with Cuttack later on. 1827, Bhadrak and Jajpur are part of Balaswar district. Before that, Jaleswar was the Sarkar, district headquarters. Bhadrak was Sarkar, district headquarters. Balaswar is nothing. Imagine that situation. Jaleswar was the district headquarters. It is called Jaleswar Sarkar. Bhadrak Sarkar. That's nothing there. So that's why, if you look to these things, we find where is Balaswar now? When there are many students here from Balaswar town, roam around Balaswar town. Balaswar town sir, bully ba dekhibo, Balaswar kon. वो भी जानना था. वो हिस्टोरियंस पढ़ी ली, एमए पढ़िया कली, आइडिया को Balaswar कम थिला. तापरे एमए पढ़िया परे क्या पढ़िला बेले तापरे तो बुली देखिली, Balaswar town ता कम town. So how the history of Balaswar carries a long tradition, long a cultural heritage. So the case kala कोई institute थिला, एक प्रिय थिला, Maritime Institute and South Asian Studies. You are director. ମୁଁ ଘରକୁ ଆସୁଥିଲି ସାର୍ ମୁଁ ଚିଠି ଦେଲି ତମେ ଯିବ ଆମର ଗୋଟେ ଖୋଳା ହେଉଛି କୋଉଠି କ'ଣ ଖୋଳା ହେଉଛି ବାଲେଶ୍ୱରରେ କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ନା ବୁଢ଼ାବଳ ନଈ ପାଖରେ ଖୋଳୁଛନ୍ତି କିଏ ଖୋଳୁଛି ନା ଚନ୍ଦ୍ରମୋହନ ପଟେଲ ସେ ଲୋକ କିଏ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିନାହିଁ ଗୋ ଟୁ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ପଚାରିବ କୋଉଠି ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି କହିଲେ କ'ଣ ହବ ନା ଯିବ ମୁଁ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲି ଦେଖିଲି ବଦଳକୁ ଚିଠା ଦେଲି कहले मु चंदन पटेल कहले आपण बोट रे बसो तो बोट रे बसै कि लुनिया गुडी मन नई भितर आनी आपण खोलुछ नि कोन से मु देई देखले बारडी गाछ पछपटे गोटे जगह अछि ओलंदा साई रे माटी तळु गोटे 25-30 फुट गोटे डंगा बारिछ माटी तळु चौड़ा डंगा लंबाई डंगा देखले कौन एटा करिवे ए डंगाटा होछि 200-300 तळर दिनमार मन आसुथिले ए डंगार से पानी जेबे से नहीं आसुथिले एबे कौन करिवे एबे पोती दो काई कि ना गवर्नमेंट एको नौ नाही का पता गला तू पोती देबे हां ए कौन हो कलेक्टर को हम रखी परिबो नाही आमे ओटे इंस्टीट्यूट आसीछु एको नै कि जीवो कोआडे केई नौ ना डंगाटा पता ही सो टाउन गुलो देखियो ओलंदा साई दिनमार डिंगा फरासी डिंगा so these are areas in Balasore you will find plenty of cultural heritage of Balasore not only that जहाँ तो कोई समूह जहाँ कोई तो मैं तो एफएम कॉलेज आगे अपने बिल्डिंग देखी दो पिलर भी दिखने आर्च एच पछर झरका देखिबो ऊपर पट्टा जोड़ी पूरा पट्टा गुड़ा को एबले जोड़ा आइछि दिस आर द स्टाइल ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्शन एट दैट टाइम when this building was constructed later part of 19th century सारमंता आगु कहूँ आम 19th century कही रेवेन्सा कॉलेज देखिए जानिबो कोन रेवेन्सा हेरिटेज हॉल अछि को हॉल हेरिटेज हॉल 7 पिलर्स नुहे ओटा हेरिटेज हॉल ता ऑडिटोरियम काहे कि जे ओडिसा रा प्रथम असेंबली बसिथिला मतलब फटा पटे जो छात्र खुशी लागिला दुसुतर गजपति प्रशासन आछंती सब सात नष्ट हवा मतलब पटे सारा को देखि मु देखि सात नष्ट हवा सारे खुशी गजपति पकड़ी भिड़ी की मुकुट तो टांगी की छता का पछ धरची तालचंती कना टू असेंबली व्हिच आर कंडक्टेड इन रेवेन्सा कॉलेज हॉल ऊपर गैलरी अछि तो हॉल अछि शिशु भवन एबे केतलाकन ओडिसा गवर्नर घर थिला हमें पढ़े सालबेग बाप लालबेग शी वाज स्टडीइंग दैट एरिया लालबेग थाना अछि सो दीज आर बिल्डिंग्स अबाउट डॉक्टर साहब कथा दा करथि बट हैव यू लुक टू द हमर जियो डीजे पचिस सजर स्टूडेंट कौन जिना क्या बाकी के जैसे डीजे लिजा नाइट पैलेसेस ऑफ ओडिशा वो पैलेस ये पैलेस रा 500 वर्ष पैलेस नुहे पैलेसेस ओडिशा सबटा 19th सेंचुरी दिया दी भलो पैलेस होची पाराखंड पैलेस तासरा एक बेलगिरी पैलेस फाटी के आगे रही बेलबेडे पैलेस राजा जी आगे होटल खोल देछि ता पैलेस अधा अंचल रे आ सब पैलेस होची एको छाड़ी की माने जमींदार का बड़ पैलेस होची ताका देखिना बालसर टाउन जो माने घर हेतिबो प्लीज गो एंड विजिट दीटा पैलेस हमर राजा के कोठी होची राजा हम को बालसर राजा जमींदार बकुटनाथ दे अगर राय बहादुर तब राजा महाराजा है ताकर घर अछि बारबेटर अछि देखिबो गुटे पटो आउट जिया पई स्काई वॉक अछि ये पूरी मंदिर रे राजनगर स्काई वॉक अछि जिया पे मंदिर से स्काई वॉक पे वॉक अछि पड़े अछि आउट अछि सुनर देखिबो अछि फकवांग बिल्डिंग राधा प्रसन्न दास बिग जमीदार विराट बड़ बिल्डिंग अछि चंदन पोखरी अछि बिकी दिख चलचोनी यू गो टू सी दोस बिल्डिंग्स ता देखले फटो जानिबो जे बिल्डिंगटा कोन एवं ताकले किमिति गछ तयारी होतो मु कहीं देखिया बेली बाचा टाउन जे बाहर होती हम अंचल 90% लोक पई सबरी आगु आसुतला सबरी ओ मेहना गोटे झियो जीव गोटे बर जीव सबरी मेहना आसे भगवान घर बाडू आसे बहुत दिन पर हमें आउटे बागर पे पूजा गलु से डेस्ट भागी गल किछ नाही तो दैट इज द थिंग वी हैव टू शो टू चिल्ड्रन सबरी कोन मेहना कोन को तो बर जाए को तो कन्या जाए क्या किमिति तयारी का मु दादा के बागर काका बागर हमें काका को दादा काका बार मु बसी जाई छी सबरे बसी मेहना रे जीव बर सबरे आसीबो जीव मेहना सबरे सो दीज आर थिंग्स दैट वी डू नॉट सी इन आवर ट्रेडिशन बालसटा अंदर बसुछ पुलिस छक पे जो कंडे एबे जो कंडे बाहर होछि जो तो शिव शीतल सट्टा पर बाहर हुए बालसट टाउन में जो कंडे बाहर होते झियो जो कंडे जो पाई कंडे पाई गोटे बर ता करता होती प्रशासन हुए एबे से बड़ कर हेला हम छोट होतला एबे बड़ बाजा बाजी 5,000 लोक प्रशासन होछि क्या क्या होछि विराट कारबार होछि जो कंडे केबे आरंभ हम मने नाही तो दे ट्रेडिशन वाला सो ए यूनिवर्सिटी रे मते आगु 10 थर देइछ जो कंडे देइछ जो कंडे मुने की दुनिया को माटी छी जो कंडे हम बाचा ट्रेडिशन लेकिन इमेजिन ए जिंस हम पश्चिम बंग रे बॉर्डर रे जलेश्वर रे जो हमर पर्व हुए कोन कहती उडा कोन एटा चंदनश्वर रे चड़क मेला लोक को बांधी दिया जाए खुंटारे गुटे एमती अच्छी तलू नई देवे लोक पेटे बांधी दिया बाड़ी तो बुले कुटे बुले गाड़ी में कंटा फोड़ाई अंतरे कंटा फोड़ाई जीवन कंटा फोड़ाई आम प्रति भक्ता भक्ता पुओ झील पड़ती बेंगल झारखंड बालेश्वर ओडिशा 2 लाख लोक आस दैट इज आवर कल्चर फंक्शन how can you forget that many time we find एरा को बेसिकली कहया चाहूँ बालेश्वर में इम्पति कहया चाहूँ you look to other side मोगल तामसा को जो लिखिले प्रणमल गोस्वामी लिखिले एवं मोगल तामसा केबे आरंभ होइतला इट इज ब्रिटिश पीरियड मोगल काले मराठा काले तापर आरंभ होला काले गोटे सैटारिकल ड्रामा करा होतला पर्शियन उर्दू बंगला ओडिया मिसी लिखा होतला एवं ता बहुत मु रिक्वेस्ट करी केबे ओकेजन पाइले गोटे मोगल तामसा शो कर दरकार एवं सेटा गोटे मॉडर्न ट्रेडिशन हमर कल्चरल ट्रेडिशन रे बालेश्वर बर्तमान देखि वेरी फेमस से बही आसी चपाली ऊपर ड्रामा होची एवं मोगल तामसा देरी करा होची आजकल so there are many functions many things in Baleshwar you can see you come to modern period I do not want to speak चांदबाली पोर्ट रो चढ़ी की मधुआ गले पड़िया पे गले कलिकता चांदबाली पोर्ट केबे हेतला हमर थिला नंबर ऑफ पोर्ट्स आर देयर इन बालेश्वर कोस्ट चांदबाली पोर्ट बहुत दिन बंद थिला ताको पाइला के नव दुर्भिक्ष परे रेवेन्सा साहेब बालेश्वर कलेक्टर थे से बुली गले देखिया पे कैप्टन मैकनिल एंड रेवेन्सा सेल्ड ऑफ द माउथ ऑफ धामरा टू फाइंड आउट अ प्लेस वेयर से जोडी बंदर करिवो कारण नौक बेले खाद्य शस्य आसिला कि उले पला नै जाई पला नै करथिले चांदली पोर्ट हेतला चांदली पोर्ट काम भी करतला चाळ पठोतले बाहर को ओडिसा बर्मा जाउतला आसुतला गंजाम जाउतला ओडिसा जाउतला पुरी जाउतला आउ हमर कम्युनिकेशन हेल्प करतला रेलवे डेवलपमेंट करतला तेणु पूजा होते मधुआ पड़िया भी हेतले बालेश्वर जाउतले दैट वाज ए लिविंग पोर्ट फ्रॉम सेटा बर्तन काम बट दैट इज ए पोर्ट एवं दैट इज हमर जो सर कहते हमर बहुत बड़ इलेक्शन परिश्रम करछंती होमियो प्रोफेसर काम करछंती जो घरिष्ठता करछंती तो ओडिसा रो मेरिटाइम ट्रेडिशन कस्टम ट्रेडिशन करछन काम करछन से बड़ा बड़ा मॉडर्न पीरियड पहले बालेश्वर प्रजातंत्र जेटी कटक पुरी को कहंती जे हमर समाज छपाई थिला आमे को हमर प्रजातंत्र का छपाई 1923 प्रजातंत्र वाज पब्लिश को बालेश्वर ता हमर फकीरमन छपाई थिले संवाद वाहिका मु सेकर देखि मो पिला दिन हम नाही बालेश्वर मोती गजे जो जगह पीएम से एफएम को नोट पीएम फकीर मोहन एंड कंपनी से बिल्डिंग थिला भंगा अपने की मारोडी मंदिर डाण पटे जे बालेश्वर स्थित जितेंद्र बालेश्वर पिला मने कोइ पारिबो मारोडी मंदिर अपोजिट साइड रे गोटे भंगा गोदाम थिला मारोडी घर सेटा पड़े थिला फकीर मोहन सन को प्रेस करते दैट इज नाउ नो मोर देयर बट वेयर वाज प्रजातंत्र पब्लिश कैन यू से हम जानि तो ये कोडी महतम बोरे बाहर नाही कोडी करथि छपा होतला वेयर प्रजातंत्र प्रेस इन बालेश्वर टाउन छपा होतला हमें ताबे जानि पर आगु छपा होतला उत्कल दर्पण बकुनाने छपुतले दे प्रेस तो बहुत समय जो नंबर ऑफ मैगजीन ना दिया है बालेश्वर टाउन चारटा प्रेस ना तीनटा प्रेस चलथिला से को लोकेशन थिला हम ताको ट्राई करबा बहुत धारणा होची सार वर्षन मोर कहे खराब असुविधा नहीं ते बंगाली को एते ट्रेडिशन कॉन्शियस पूरे मते टेलीग्राम पे सीरीज ऑफ आर्टिकल बाहर करले कोन ओल्ड बिल्डिंग रो फोटो देई ता इतिहास लिखले कोन ये जो राजबाटी बा बाड़ी पूजा दुर्गा पूजा घरे बाड़ी पूजा हुई हम सेठी की जान नै एबे राजा घर पूजा हुई एबे चंदन हुए ठक चंदन हुए हमें ठक चंदन और राजा घर पूजा कि हमें वंशधर माने दे आर नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन प्रिजर्विंग दिस हमें मते भी एज हिस्टोरियन वी फेल फोटो उठेबा रखिबा बहुत दिन तळे गोटे बाजार रे देखाला गोटे बारिश देखाला गोटे प्रिंसिपल तला मंत्र कॉलेज रे अरविंद गिरी एबे लागिची भलो बही बाहर करी को लागिची बाहर बहीटा होची राजा बकुनारी बही बाहर लागिची सेट मते बही देला गोटे बही देला उसका दर्पण तुने कोन कियो लो सगळी मु चार्ज मी मिक्सर खाते हम बालसट दीटा सिनेमा संभाषण थिला गोटे मिक्सर के खाउतली ए कागज देला एके उसका दर्पण त्या पचाला एटा कोड पालु राजा करे रास्ता रे फकी दिसे कागज रो नीचे लिया ने तो बही छपेची 11टा वॉल्यूम रो उत्कल दर्पण रो वर्ष रो से बही छपेची क्लास में पढ़ी गए बुद्धन देखिया देयर इज नो पॉलिटिकल टॉक बट कल्चरल अवस्था मिलिबो से केते टंका रे केते सरे चावल मिलुतला केते सरे हमर माछो दिला कोट केले मिलुची सो दैट इज व्हाई सो दैट्स व्हाई अच्छा एको छाड़ी दियो आउ चालो मितु जेबा स्कूल 1842 जिला स्कूल तयारी हेते आम पर को स्कूल तयारी हला लखननाथ स्कूल लखननाथ रो स्कूल अछि ओल्ड स्कूल वेरी ओल्ड स्कूल बेंगल बोर्ड ता किछ हम के चेष्टा कर जानि चेष्टा कर लखननाथ दुर्गा पूजा हुए बोधे बालेश्वर रा ओडिसा रे बहुत पुरा दुर्गा पूजा से फैमिली अछि कारण मैडम हमर थिले बाणी रे रीता राय ता फैमिली होचे राय महाशय फैमिली से दुर्गा पूजा करूची मोर देन 500 600 years बैक पूजा चालछि गुटे पड़ता बेंगल एयरपोर्ट ता लागि छै अपन ओडिसा साइड पूजा so these are what we find अब देखिबा कोन हमें तो देखिबा जे ओडिसा रे बहुत एता जस्ट आज कहली हमर पिला दुई दिन के टॉपिक के नहीं हमर डिपार्टमेंट पिला नहीं छी पब्लिक बिल्डिंग्स इन कॉलोनियल ओडिसा जो लिजा नेला पैलेसेस नेला ताकि जो पब्लिक बिल्डिंग्स तो पिला जनी रिसर्च में आग्रही है ए जगह जीवा दरकार the old buildings which are constructed in the early part of 20th century or later part 19th century कारण सारे बड़े हमर अति पुराना बिल्डिंग हुए यही बिल्डिंग रे मध्य ये लुटाइल्स बिल्डिंग हुए दिल्ली बड़े स्ट्रक्चर ही नहीं किंतु एटी मध्य कि यूरोपियन इंपैक्ट अछि नेशन हमर तो ताकर इंजीनियर थिले ताकर एजुकेटेड लोक थिले तो हमर स्ट्रक्चर रे किछि जिंस पाइबा जोटा कि प्रेजेंट बिल्डिंग को टू डिफरेंट तो एबोली भाबरे हम देखिबा दी ଆମେ ମୁଁ ଯାହା କହିଲି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସ୍କୁଲ ଦେଖାଇ ପାରିବ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଜଣେ 15 ମିନିଟ୍ ଆସିଥିଲେ ପିଇଟି ବାହାରିବା ପାଇଁ ସୁଜୟ ଦେ ସରକାର କହିଲେ ମୋ ପରେ ପିଲାଟେ ପିଇଟି କରୁଛି ପ୍ରୋଟେଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ରିଲିଜନ कैथोलिसिज्म प्रोटेस्टेंटिज्म इन मेदनपेट बालासो पिला पठेबे आपको बुझिया मोर मिटे छै यार जानिया पे जे कोन से पिला आसीबो बुझिबो कोन बुझिबो आई वांटेड टू सर्च बालसर सब जोने बालसर जानि छै मिशन गर्ल्स स्कूल भीतर टेक्निकल स्कूल अछि एक कंपाउंड अछि मतलब पिला अछि और मोटे एजेड हो साधारण मंडल किसी तरह हो इज गॉट ए लिविंग डिक्शनरी ऑफ क्रिश्चियनिटी इन बाजू डिस्ट्रिक्ट पूरा लिविंग डिक्शनरी तो बुझे दो क्या हला कोन हला मु ताको जानला पर जानी जे मु पिला थी स्कूल जाउथु जिला स्कूल जाउथु आमार गोटा लाल गिरजा हॉस्पिटल सामने कैथोलिक चर्च था भागी गरानी नुआ चर्च आइछि एवं गोटे कन्वेंट विंसेंट कन्वेंट आइछि गोटे लाल गिरजा थे मो घर गारी गरे एमएलए थिले पर एमएलए अरुण दे सेठी गोटे फादर आस्ते मु को देखो इंटरेस्ट लगे छोट पिला ना धड़ा पिंजो पूरा पाद पर्यंत से अरुण दे कहलो से इंग्लिश ऑनर्स पढुछि इंग्लिश ऑनर्स तो हम बच्चा वी आर फ्रॉम हम इटाली मेरी यालसलम कोन से ना कहले इंटरेस्टिंग कोन आपण पढंती से कहले यार ता प्रिस्ट तो से जो चर्च थिला सेठी थिला पर बैप्टिस्ट चर्च पछे जगह तयारी हला एकर जो सेंचुरी मोर देन सेंचुरी हिस्ट्री अछि बा एक संगे हम आर्कोटिक जलेश्वर बाकी जो चर्च उडा अछि ताको हम भी केबे स्टडी करिनो बा जो माने ऑलरेडी से स्टडी करि छथि बई बाहर छी दास विश्वार मंजुसी दळ ए एमन को सफिशिएंट स्टडी ए लोक रीजनल लोकल हिस्ट्री ही तो एई उडा जिंसोडा बहुत जिंस अछि एवं एको जे हम टिके देखिबा एको देखिबा हमें पाइबा आगु जिंस भी कहबी टुडे एके प्रोफेसर रवि बीसी दा आस्ते लाइसेंस आस्ते से स्मृति कुमार सरकार भाषा वर्तमान यूनिवर्सिटी थी सी आसिले मत देखा सिलेबस से कहले अशोक मत देखा नहीं कौन रेलवे ब्रिज रेलवे ब्रिज कौटी ना गोटे लुहा ब्रिज तुम सहर अच्छी आम सहर लुहा ब्रिज क्या से मत कहते मुझे पचार कौटी अच्छी ना तुम नई अच्छी बुढ़ा बुढ़ा कौन अच्छी बड़ नई टाउन पानी जोगा ना तापर अच्छी वो बुझीपारे कौटी अच्छी से गोटे बही लिखी साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी कोस्टल ओडिशा ना बेंगल ना ओडिशा को लिखी बहीटा ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी छपी कहले 4टा ब्रिज होता गोटे तुम जिले अच्छी जगह मुझे बहुत खुशी खुशी पचारे कौटी लुहार ब्रिज अच्छी फुलाड़ी को कनेक्ट करपट को आम जो बजार को से जो ब्रिजटा एवं नुआ हो लुहार ब्रिज थे सेकेंड था कौटी कहल सालंदी द्रौपदी सिनेमा एपटे कचेरी पटे सालंदी गोटे लुहार ब्रिज थे से कहीगले मो अनई मुझे मो बालसम घर मो स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स करी सारा जिला बुली मुझे मार्क करी लुहा ब्रिज तो जाऊँ आसूँ कि देखुची किए नो आई मेंशन इट केते टका दिया केबे तयारी हला तो कनेक्टेड कौन बढ़िला से तो एटा खिस्टा आइतला कृष्णा कंपनी करिते फुलाडी को जलेश्वर साइड रू बस टाउन को कनेक्ट करिया पाई का बेटला फुलवारी हला परे मोरटा ब्रिटिश मतलब लड़ाई हला का बगल माने चाइना ब्रिटिश आइला कनेक्टिविटी बढ़िया सो दीस आर थिंग्स वी हैव नेवर हैड आज संजय पाटिल प्रचार देली कुछ आई जस्ट क्रेडिट सिकासी प्रोजेक्ट काम करूची कोरोना में प्रोजेक्ट आनते बोट पैकिंग इन कोस्टल ओडिशा मुझे मैंने बोले जस्ट गण चाकरी करते संजय बाबा प्रोजेक्ट इन follow in coastal ODC. Board making technique account the activity होता है. अभी तो कुछ मतलब student mention issue हुए. अभी तो सर board तो board का ना तो ना. गंजाम side board है, बाल side board का difference होती. पूरे board का difference होती. पूरे अंदर पर नोड़िया. तमरे प्रति बंगाली की चर्चा जो है वेदनापुरी बंगाली बा ये जो बंगाली बंगाली इसमें किसान नोड़िया. तो तमरे पर board making technique difference होती. वे सारे बुझोतले सारे बोतले so that did a great work. शिक्षा से लोग प्रोजेक्ट नहीं काम से करूची board making in coastal Balasore. So these are things which is not taught us. Many times there are many things. I mean देखुचु आगे जानी पड़े. यही भाषा से तो कोई चीज़ नहीं कोई दिल्ली वाला 25 वर्ष आई गला. करो मुँह तो बताइए तो नहीं. तुम्हारे convocation plus speeches of the chancellor, the guest and the VC along with the report of the register can be compiled into a monumental work. 25 वर्ष ର ବହିଟା ବାହାର କଲେ ଉତ୍କଳ ମିଳୁ ନାହିଁ ଉତ୍କଳ ମୁଁ ବି ଟ୍ରାଏ କରିଛି କିଛି ମିଳୁ ନାହିଁ ଡକ୍ୟୁମେଣ୍ଟ କନଭୋକେସନ ସ୍ପିଚେସ୍ ମିଳୁ ନାହିଁ ମୁଁ ତମ ମୋ 25 ବର୍ଷ ହେଇଛି ଏଇ ସବୁ ମିଳିଯିବ ତମେ ପଳେଇଲା ଆଉ କିଏ କରିବେନି ହଁ କରିବା ମୁଁ ତମର 25 ବର୍ଷ ହଉଛି କରିଦେଇ ଯାଅ so many times these things are there with us in modern history there are many things we recognize ଆମେ ଭାବୁଛୁ ସେଇ ସାଲର ଭଳିଆ ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ଦେଖିବା ମନ୍ଦିର ଦେଖିବା ମାଟି ଭଳିଆ ବାହାରିବ ମାଟି ଉପରେ ଅନେକ ଜିନିଷ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ଉଚିତ ମୋ ଧାରଣା ଯେ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ମଷ୍ଟ ବି ଇନକ୍ୟୁଜିଟିଭ ମାଇଣ୍ଡ ଜିଜ୍ଞାସା ଇନକ୍ୟୁଜିଟିଭ ପିଲା କଥା ମାନେ କ'ଣ ତୁ କ'ଣ ପଢୁଛୁ ରିସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କରୁଛୁ ତୁ ଇନକ୍ୟୁଜିଟିଭ ବୁଝିପାରିଲୁନି ନା ମୋର ଜିଜ୍ଞାସା ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା କର ଆଗ ତମ ବାପାଙ୍କର ମାତ୍ର 3 ପୁରୁଷ ନାଁ ଲିଷ୍ଟ କର ଗୋଟେ ଜଷ୍ଟ 1 ମିନିଟ୍ you just try to find out ତମ ଏରିଆରେ କୋଉ ମନ୍ଦିର ପଡ଼ିଛି ଭଙ୍ଗା ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ପଡ଼ିଛି ବା କୋଉ ଫ୍ରିଡମ ଫାଇଟର ଆଗରୁ ବା କ'ଣ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିଛି ଲିଷ୍ଟ କର ଦେଇ କରୁ ଇତିହାସ ପଢୁଛେ anthropology ପଢୁଛେ କଲଚର ପଢୁଛେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ପୋଷିବା ପାଇଁ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରୁ with these words of thank the vice chancellor the committee of the organizing committee Sikasri Jina and other friends that invited me the ମଗର ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ପ୍ରତି ମାସ ଏଇ 10 ଦିନ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆସିଥିଲି ଯାଇଥିଲି ଏମେନ୍ଦା ସେମିନାର ତାପରେ ଆସିଥିଲି ଉତ୍କଳ ଦିବସ ମୁଁ ତ ଆସିବା କମ୍ ନାହିଁ କିନ୍ତୁ again and again I come here it is a pleasure to sit with the students of present generation ମୋତେ 71% ବାହାଦୁରୀ ହବ 76 ପାସ୍ କରିଥିଲି ତମକୁ 40 ବର୍ଷ ବଡ଼ I want to engage in you the ଜିଜ୍ଞାସା ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ କ'ଣ କରିବ କ'ଣ ଇତିହାସ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ and ଯାହା ସାର୍ କହିଲେ କଲଚର ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ଆଗକୁ ଯିବ ଆଜିକା ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ହେଉଛି ଖାଲି କଲଚର ହେଇଯିବ ଟ୍ରାଡିସନ ହେଇଯିବ ଆମେ ପ୍ରିଜର୍ଭ କରିବା ଦରକାର ଅନେକ ବହି ନାଁ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଆଚ୍ଛା ମୋତେ କେହି କହିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଟାଇମ୍ ସାରୁଛି ମାନସିକ ବହିଟା ଅଛି ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଲିଟରେଚର ସେ ଲିଷ୍ଟ ଲମ୍ବା ଲିଷ୍ଟ ଅଛି ମ୍ୟାଗାଜିନ୍ ଜର୍ନାଲ ଅଛି ଓଡ଼ିଶାରେ କେତେ ଜର୍ନାଲ ଛପାଇଲା ବ୍ରିଟିଶ ପିରିୟଡ଼ କିଏ ଦେଖିଛ ସମ୍ବାଦ କେହି ଦେଖିଛ କହିଲେ ବାଲେଶ୍ୱର ପିଲା ସମ୍ବାଦ ବାହିକା କିଏ ଦେଖିଛ ସେ ଲମ୍ବା ମାନସିକ ବହିରେ 50-40 ଜର୍ନାଲ ନାଁ ଅଛି ମ୍ୟାଗାଜିନ୍ ନାଁ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ବି ତ ସବୁ ଦେଖିନାହିଁ ବହୁତ ମୁଁ ପଚାରିଛି ମୋ ସାର୍କୁ ପଚାରିଛି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ ମାଷ୍ଟରକୁ ପଚାରିଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଆମେ ବି ଦେଖିନା ଆଉ ମାନସିକ ଦେଖିଲେ କୋଉଠି ନା ସେ ବୁଝାବୁଝି କରି ଶୁଣାଶୁଣି କରି ଲେଖିଛନ୍ତି ଗୋଟେ ଲିଷ୍ଟଟା ଦେଇଛି କେତେକ ଟ୍ରାଏ ଟୁ ଫାଇଣ୍ଡ ଆଉଟ୍ ଅଛି କି ନାହିଁ again thank you all for hearing and time is limited and thank you
Dr. Jivan Patnaik to share his views synoptically.
hello आप लोग को क्या है इधर से क्या बोल रहे हैं
बहुत जल्दी सॉरी देखा पर कोई नहीं yes respected chairman professor Raut sir professor Patnaik sir professor Sanjay sir ladies and gentlemen dear students and researchers of the audience in the befitting of the theme, today's theme that stone to stories, ancient, medieval and modern. I am presenting that excavations at Lalitgiri from 1985 to 91, 6 seasons work, in which I was a member of that team. The director, Dr. G.C. Chawle, we undertook that work right from 1985. So, you know Lalitgiri, why it is so important? Lalitgiri now in Cuttack district in Virupara, Chitrapura Valley. It is located in the Eastern Ghat Asia Hill Range. It consisting of three hillocks, Londa Hill, Olasoni and Parabadi. Of course, Olasoni hill is bereft of any archaeological remains. Parabadi is a village settlement today, and which it is famous for that heritage village, Loritigiri, famous for this lapidary work, stone lapidary work. Then Londa Pahad, where we work, that our work excavation was conducted. That is what Londa Pahad, that 7 hill, because there was no bursary, there was no bush or tree on that day. That is why it is called Londa Pahad. So why? It is just about 85 kilometers from Bhubaneswar via Chandigarh, and it is also one of the sites of the famous Diamond Triangle, because the other two sites like Udayagiri and Ratnagiri, they are lying at the distance of 8 to 12 kilometers and constitutes a triangle. And you see this triangle, and it was first reported by a British civil servant, Indian British civil servant Chandrasekhar Banerjee in 69. Then it was published in the report 1869, published in Bengal District Gazetteer, and also the other proceedings of Bengal. The two occasions it was published. After that, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, also sub-collector of Jalspur, and from Lalitigiri he had written a book, his first novel of his time, that is Sitaram. That is the first novel of Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Okay, that was that the site was associated, and it was completely dealt with the history of scenic beauty of Lalitigiri, so to say. So after that, in 1905, Manmohan Chakraborty, another civil servant, also reported the archaeological potentiality of the site, and it was also published in Baleshwar District Gazetteer. Okay. Then in 1922, R.P. Chanda from Indian Museum also and his team visited Lalitigiri, Ratnagiri, and Udayagiri, and they mentioned it also, not Ratnagiri, it was mentioned in Memoirs of Explorations in Orissa, number 44. It was published in 1929. Then there was no work regarding this Lalitigiri. In 1956 or 58, Professor N.K. Sahu, he has written Buddhism in Orissa, mentioned about this potentiality, archaeological potentiality of Lalitigiri. That is the thing. Then the final, not final penalty, but finality of the excavation came to it that Professor Behra, who had conducted a minor scale excavation in 1977, and he collected also some structural remains, some antiquarian remains like sculptures and objects, and including a Gupta gold coin. That was the significance of the excavation. Then it took 8 more years to unravel the rich archaeological potentiality of the site, when Archaeological Survey of India, within its new cycle Bhubaneswar, led by Dr. G.C. Chawla, undertook the excavation of Lalitigiri. What is the purpose of undertaking this Lalitigiri excavation? Just after giving you a little background, and I will come to the point. So, with a view to establish that the identify the Pushpagiri Mahavihar or Pushpagiri University, as mentioned in Huan Science itinerary, that he mentioned about Pushpagiri Mahavihar along with 10 Buddhist stupas, Buddhist Ashokan stupas. He has looked at also in his report, in his account, that where it is. So in order to locate that, because already prior to Lalitigiri was excavated in 1958 to 61, and it has established the Ratnagiri Mahavihar. So the possibility of Pushpagiri Mahavihar was remote chance in Ratnagiri. So now the first will come to Lalitagiri. So we thought that Lalitagiri could be Pushpagiri Mahavihar. So with this objective we started excavation. Then simultaneously another excavation was also started Udaygiri nearby Lalitagiri by archaeological survey excavation went both from 1985 to 89. They also conducted excavation simultaneously. So here we have seen that the Lalitagiri site, which is consisting of 93 acres of land, and you can see the length one hand to another end is 1534 meter, and total is 324 meter in width. And you can see the concentration of archaeological remains in the center part, I mean northern part. So it is now a oval shaped mound, you can say. So that establishment is there in foothill of the Lalitagiri. So on the basis of 6 years consecutive excavation, I was also associated with this excavation from 1987 to 88, again 92, 92, 91. There are 3 seasons I worked there. So unfortunately, Dr. Chawle, the then director, he could not write the report. Ultimately, the responsibility come to me, and I completed the report and submitted to the Director General, which was now published as a Memoir of Archaeological Culture of India, number 114, which I presented today to our esteemed Vice Chancellor. So, on the basis of these archaeological findings of the Londai Hill, we calculated the chronology that it started from Asokan period, 3rd century BC or post-Mauryan period, 3rd century post-Mauryan period to Sunga period, this Buddhist relic cascade. Okay, so next, this is the drawing of section of Mars stupa. Next, this is also elevation of the stupa. See, yes, in course of excavation we found that a votive stupa like object was encountered during our excavation. So we thought it could be votive stupa, but votive stupas are always solid one, and it is found to be a lid as well as container. That means it consists of 2 parts. So you can see next. Yeah, this is container. As you see earlier one, that is with the lid with the container. But this is the container and lid and container. Okay, you may have phonolite. Next. Yeah, and when we cover this lid, we found there is something inside. That is a stalactite cascade again. So we found 3 types of relic containers. Out of 3, 1 is empty and 2 contains this relic cascade here. Stalactite cascade. Please, next one. Yeah, you see, when we reopened all these things, we found this stalactite or Khadipatra cascade. Khadipatra cascade with a rupa cascade thila. Rupa vitre rupa phura vitre suta gulu thila. You can see next. Yes. See, this is the silver one, and then this one is the golden one, and a gold relic with a gold foil. One is that, and the relic, silver relic cascade was damaged due to silver nitric effect. Next, yeah, this is another one without gold foil. So, what do you think? So, whenever we found elsewhere in India excavation sites, we found that the relic cascade always contain the name of Buddha or Sariputta or Molana likewise, but here in the case it is uninscribed, so it is a very perplex to the excavator or the archaeologist to whom it belongs to. So, but on the basis circumstantial, we believe it could be a relic of I think Buddhist master or his disciple. We cannot say, we cannot conclude it to be a Buddha and his disciple. But the same pattern, Professor Behra has also visited Beijing, and he also told that this is nothing but this is a Chinese orthodox type of arrangement. So, and even Viprava also we found this type of, please, previous one. Viprava also we found this type of cascade. You can see inscribed one. Sariputta Buddhasya, Pogronasya like this. Boisali, Sanchi, Kapilavastu, Nagarjuna, everywhere it is written like that. So, but here only, from the first time we find uninscribed. So, it is a very difficult job and it is speculative in nature. So, we cannot conclude it to whom it belongs. Okay, next, as you see, this is of Nagarjuna. Next. So, whatever it may be, on the basis of the style of arrangement and the circumstantial evidences, we conclude it to be an earliest Buddhist stupa dateable to Mauryan and post-Mauryan period. And in the periphery of this stupa, we found lot of large number of even thubos, railing pillars, and this black and red ware of early period, that means post-Mauryan period. And this thing. So this is the first time we have reported from Lodi. Now it is after conservation, we can see this here. Next. Now coming to the subsequent 1996, this is the story of 1985, and coming to this next step, next terrace, we find a stupa complex as well as a Chaitya one. I will show you. This is the part of Chaitya one and Chaitya complex. This is also first of its kind. Reported from Lodi because that ancestral Chaitya structure was not reported elsewhere in Odisha. So Lodi was the first site to have given this indication that this Chaitya Graha was datable to 1st century and it was used from right from 1st century to 8th century. That is the thing, and you can see that this is a Jambhala image and a large Buddha image. Feet of a large Buddha. Next. See, this is the earlier exposed structure complex of south of ancestral structure. Next. See, this is the excavation. During excavation of the ancestral structure, it is not fully exposed so far. Next. This is the complete drawing of the ancestral structure. Ancestral structure means also Khurakriti. কিন্তু এলিভেশন ডিসকাউন্ট গজ পুষ্টাকার যদি হাতির পিঠি পছপটা যদি দেখা যায় এই টাইপের দেখা যায় গজ পুষ্টাকার বন্দি কিন্তু প্লান ইট ইজ অশোকুলাকৃতি টাইপ অফ স্ট্রাকচার ইট ইজ জাস্ট হিন্দু কাউন্টার পার্ট অফ টেম্পল ইট ইজ meant for worship. Okay, in the center you will find a stupa and it is having a circumambulatory round. Previous हाँ ये देखो this is stupa. Earlier stupa, and this is a circumambulatory process. It has been widened from time to time, so it has undergone 3 to 4 phases of construction. Because it started from 1st century, that again ended with the 7th, 8th century. So it has a long history of 700 years, you can say. Next, in this Chaitya Graha we find Kushana Brahmi inscription, Sunga medallion, and Gupta Brahmi shell script inscription, and all these sculptures which have been reported from this shadow structure corresponding to the axis of the structure are uninscribed, and it reminds us of Gupta workmanship. Okay, and every sculpture was interspersed with votive stupas, uninscribed. Next, so there are 26 of Buddha images, all of Buddha images were constructed. You can see they are standing, sitting like this, and in between this is the Buddha stupas and Buddha image. तापरे बड़ी ताको ये करागला किंतु लेटेस्ट स्टेज रे देखलु हमें जे आर पछपटटा जो एक्सटर्नल स्ट्रक्चर कंप्लीटली इट हैज ए टेम्पल लाइक मोल्डिंग, खुरा मोल्डिंग, डोली and portica like this. I will show you another here. And in center of this stupa, earlier stupa, there was a Buddha head of 1 meter height that was supposed to be the relic of presiding object of the stupa. Next. Now it is kept in a newly built museum. Next. Yeah, you see, after conservation, you can see this is just like look like a temple part of this one, Buddha, Noli and portica. Okay. So, and this arrangement of the university in this Padamana Kotha in this last phase, the votive stupas, in between these votive stupas, the images of Buddhas were there, images of Buddha. there are so many interesting Buddha images, mostly. Mo- Thank you, sir. So, in the center of this Buddha images are there. So, it is the workmanship of later period, 6th and 7th century, and this is the Pradhamina of the later period. Okay, next. And you will be surprised to know that in this area we found more than dozen of Matsurindo Buddha images. When a Buddha is shadowed by a serpent head, 7 folded serpents, Matsurindo Buddha. So in a place like Lardhigiri, there was large number of Matsurindo Buddha that nowhere it was reported in Indian subcontinent. Not Indians, globally you will not find. 1 or 2 images were there, but not this one, more than 1 dozen Matsurindo Buddha images were recorded from one side. Next, you see these are also Matsurindo Buddha. The canopy, snake canopy is completely eliminated, and this is Nagarjuna type of Buddha. So it is an assimilation of North India and South Indian school of art we found from Lardhigiri. From our minor story, we assume that this is, you can see, this is the Buddha's descent from Dusita heaven. You can see that Indra is holding Paraswam Chhatravadi, and Brahma is holding a Kamandalu, and the greeting, when Buddha is being greeted by these two, Indra and Brahma. Okay, the Sankisa episode. And this is the Buddha in Abhyamudra. Next, Nagabandha is supposed to be snake bill ornamented window of this Chaitya Griha. Next, these are all recorded from Buddha, this Chaitya Griha area. Next, standing Buddha in Dharma Chakra Mudra, then Dakshan Mudra. Next, Abhyamudra, standing, sitting, all the things. We have found 56 number of such images recorded from this Epsilon Chaitya. So, along with this stupa and Chaitya, we find also 4 number of monastic complexes. Okay, 4 number of monastic, not belonging to one period, it belonging to different period. So, this is monastery 1, largest of this complex, monastery 1. Next, so this is 36 meters by 36, it's supposed to be double story monastery. Double story monastery. It is having 16 number of monastic cells. You can see this is after conservation. Next, so you see it was constructed just the slope of the hill, and it is very difficult to bring water also from the ground level. So it is about 200 feet below this water level. So they decorated water system. So in order to preserve water, and for the rainwater collection, they have constructed this stone evaporating reservoir. So you can see the 7 meter by 4 meter into 3 meter. This is the dimension of this this water system. Collection of rainwater, rainwater harvesting. Okay, next. Yeah, and this is the monastery number 3 before excavation. Next. This is after conservation. After conservation, it is facing towards southeast. Number 1 monastery I will show you, that is facing east. Okay. Double story monastery, there was an indication that we can go to the top upper side. There is a flight of steps also there leading to upper story. Okay. Similarly, monastery number 3 is also a double story monastery. And in each of the monastery, out of 4 monasteries, 2 monasteries are swastik pattern monastery. So a swastik type project हुए, so swastik monastery. So देखिए आपको बुद्धिस्ट कैनन से मध्य तार बुली कितो अच्छी, सेटा swastik pattern monastery कहते हैं. आउ गोटे अच्छी hedge pattern monastery, monastery number 4. So this is monastery number 3, monastery number 3. Next, this is after monastery number 3 after conservation. So you can see these are 5 each, 5 cells each in a row, then 2 in front row. In the front row, one of the cell contains the dormitory of a person can also take rest. That is supposed to be the perhaps the resting room of the chief monk. That is also found in Nalanda as well as the Western Indian rock cut Buddhist monasteries. Okay, and just a drain. And you can see that in order to log out this rainwater, they have constructed this drain. And then just abutting this drain, there is a kitchen complex. Monastery number 3. Monastery number 3 is supposed to be the earliest monastery. Monastery 4 is 10th, 11th century, and it was constructed during the heyday of the Buddhism, that is under Bhaumikara period. When Buddhism was in its golden period under Bhaumikaras, it was constructed. But monastery 3 is belonging to your 4th to 8th century. Okay, so it is 30 meter by 30 meter. You can see this is a beautiful drawing of monastery number 3. Next, inside this monastery 3, we also found a inscribed Buddha image in Bhumisparsha Mudra. Next, we found also very interesting evidence which basis of which we can get also the monastery. There is a pendant. An inscription is there that is known as Vinita Putra. The date of that says the inscription datable to 6th, 7th century. Okay, Vinita Putra, that is an authority of a monk. That is some type of keep the lekondini sir.
Pali Bhasha na kolte.
Yeah, you have got Brahmi script. Next, and this is a Avalokiteswara image. It is made of kaolin, but earlier we believe it to be ivory, but it is not ivory. When chemical examination was done, it was found to be limestone, kaolin. A small one, tiny. So this is monastery number 4. This is also contemporary monastery number 1. 30 meter by 30 meter, single story monastery. You can see. Next. Yeah. The monastery is heartthrobbing result is that a headless Buddha image in the sanctum sanctorum facing towards west. It is about 30 meter in dimensions, so 30 meter by 30 meter. And you can see only 10 Buddhist monk cells are there, and it is in the center there is a courtyard, stone paved courtyard. Next. This is monastery 2 with a partially excavated. It is now just beyond the modern built museum building. Yeah, this is monastery 2. Next. This is the monastery 4, one of the cells of the monastery 4, where we could find a monastic cell that gives the indication or the legend that Chandraditya Bihar समग्र आर्य भिक्षु संघ श्री चंद्रादित्य आर्य भिक्षु संघ समग्र श्री चंद्रादित्य विहार समग्र आर्य भिक्षु संघ संघस्य नहीं संघस्य प्लूरल होता it plus this entire Buddhist community belonging to one school. So that is very interesting. And one, from my point of view, when I examined it, out of 4 monasteries, one monastery is called as Sri Chandraditya Vihara. That is monastery number 4. Now, बहुत जन लिखि दौरान ना ललितगिरी सीट पाइगली आटा को देखिए आम ललितगिरी चंद्रादित्य विहार कहता. No, that cannot be. Each monastery is having its individual name. For example, with Udayagiri, we found 2 monasteries. One monastery is Singhapurta Mahadhyar, another monastery is known as Madhavpur Mahadhyar. So each monastery has its own name, sir. So we cannot say on the basis of one monastery, silly, entire site cannot be named. So that is my contention, sir.
Dividing nothila. This is dividing nothila.
What is that?
जो संघ कहले गोटिए
संघस्य
बोले प्लुरल नहीं होची.
प्लुरल है संघ का लिखा है संघ स लिखा है
तापरे ओनली बुद्धिज्म रे सबसेट आसे
गोटे मोनास्ट्री संघ बोली कहते सर कोई भी सर Sir, there are 2 monastic seals are there. One is found in the very down level, and it is the upper level. This is from 4th century AD, sir, Gupta period, and this is from 9th century. So that means that monastery 4 was under use right from Gupta period and continued up to 10th century, sir.
So that is next. And another undeciphered ceiling was also recovered from that side. And one of the most important interesting discovery of this site is that inscribed portraits right from 1st century AD to 10th century. Next. Next. So these are all epigraphs, stone tablets that Buddhist dharanis were mentioned here. Next. These are all inscribed portraits. Next. Inscribed portraits that go to different period. This is epigraph. Here Dharma hai to Bhava hai, Buddhist dharani mantra. And this is a monastic ceiling. Monastic ceiling, sir. These are dharani seals, Buddhist created seals. And these are of Gupta workmanship contained monolithic pillars. You can see, sir, from Chaitanya, website of Chaitanya. And this is mold. Next. They are all inscribed portraits. Next. Jolly koi time. And these are from potteries also, sir, from different period. Black and red ware, grey ware, and red ware is the predominant pottery of the site. Next, these are all inscribed portraits. On the basis of the portraits, right from 1st century to 11th century, we have dated the site, sir. Next, after 5 minutes. Next, these are all plaques, minor antiquity plaques, sir. Durga and Vishnu, Ganapati, Ganesh image are also there, and this Buddhist plaque, Buddha plaque. Next, we have also found that. Next, yeah, this is the inscription, the Kusana inscription found from Central Chaturya. And these are the boards of Kusana, Puri Kusana province. 65 numbers were recovered from excavation sites. That shows that during this Kusana period, it was also under occupation. Next. Next. These are all some of the important images also not found from excavation, but found from different places, periphery of this village, and collected by the then excavator, Devala Mitra, and now it is kept in newly built museums. Next. These are all Bodhrayan images, but so far excavation of Lalitiri is concerned, we found that only Hinayana and Mahayana evidences, not Bodhrayana, but in the periphery it contained Bodhrayana sculptures. These are all Bodhrayana sculptures. Next. Next. So this is a newly built, Lalitiri Museum, which was inaugurated by Honorable Prime Minister in December 19th, sir. So, given time, sir. So this was a problem-oriented excavation to prove whether Lalitiri was the same Pushpagiri of Buens and them or not. But the result dispelled the notion of Pushpagiri located at Lalitiri. That is first. Second was Lalitiri was first excavated to decide to yield a relic escape, though uninscribed, but certainly throws a new light on the keeping of relic in the manner of Chinese puzzle box. Excavation also brought to light remains of Epsilon Chaitya, 1st century to 7th century, first of its kind in Buddhist context. Subsequently, excavation at Udayagiri also added another abstract structure datable to late Gupta period, but this is earlier. That is why I am mentioning it, sir. Lalitiri is the only excavated Buddhist site which unearthed monastic complex consisting of 4 monasteries constructed in different period, Gupta period till medieval period. No other excavated site has provided this evidence. The site also unearthed inscriptions right from Sugopusana period to medieval period in terms of terracotta ceiling. Seal ceiling, stone inscription adjoining the threshold of website of Chaitanya belong to Kusana, Gupta, post-Gupta period, respectively. So, Lalitiri, next, numerous motif terracotta seals belonging to different periods, they monastic ceiling from monastery 4 and Chaudhary Vihara Samagra Abja Bhikkhu Sangha, datable to 9th century, and 2 other fragmentary ceiling reading Sri Chandra belonging to Gupta, post-Gupta period. They had to prove that one of the monastery of the site, that is monastery 4, was known as Chaudhary Vihar of at least since Gupta period. Besides, there was a ceiling of dubious distinction bearing Pushpagiri was also unearthed. Next. So, Lalitiri is one among the excavated Buddhist site in Odisha, is the earliest and most important in respect of cultural chronology and structural basis, epigraphic records and iconographic styles. Numismatic evidence like Gupta gold coin and hoard of 65
Purikushan have also collected from the site, which further proves antiquarian importance. The site seems to have undergone in all three different phases of Buddhism, Vinaya, Mahayana, and Vajrayana. Next. 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 So keeping in view of this above discussed is one of the earliest and most important Buddhist settlement of highest order, right from post-modern period to 30th century without any threat. Thank you, sir, for presence here in English.
दुर्गा वो जो मूर्ति बाहर ला तो हिंदू जो मिसी की तरफ था
এটা স্যার এটা ফোক ডেট হিসাবে ঢুকছে বুদ্ধিস্ট টেম্পল গুলো বহু লার্জ সাইজ এর পকেট রাখলা বলে এই টাইপের এই টাইপের ওক থ্যাংক ইউ
Respected panelists, invited guests, scholars, delegates, and my dear student friends. It is already late for lunch. We all are hungry, and I don't think if you have a very bombarding speech, nobody will listen to you, hear you, and you feel very much bored. But as the chairman of this session, I would like to craft your indulgence for 5 minutes. Bear with me for that period. I would like to focus on one point which is to me very much vital and very much personal, that is historiography of mapping heritage sites. We have been discussing it this time. So many works have already come to light. But presently, the cultural heritage, heritage and culture are two sides of the same coin, everybody accepts that. So how are you going to relate a particular heritage site with your inherited culture or the influence that has come from abroad and that makes you giving an identity? This part is very much important for any analysis or any kind of discussion. When you talk of heritage sites, it could be a temple, it could be Lalitgiri like archaeological remnants that we find on a Buddhist site. It could be a port site. It could be one heritage site on the river banks, flooded with very important sites in Odisha. Most of the river banks are having large number of sites. So it could be a port town. So when you think of a particular subject, first you conceptualize. What are you going to take while you are dealing with that particular site? So the first and foremost duty of a researcher is to look into the sources. You know, the 3,000 years of history of Odisha will give you indications that from every phase of our study, our history, is having its specific characteristics. If you are working on ancient regions, ancient Odishan sites, the source materials are different. Particularly the archaeologists have taken it granted that the findings are key to our historical analysis, our historical narration. But how we are going to integrate with the general understanding of a culture of one society. Similarly, when you come down to the 9th to 13th, 14th century, you have a different kind of sources, inscriptional, coupled with the sculptural presentations in the temples. So your approach, your historiographical study will differ from the ancient study of the ancient heritage centers. So when you come to the late medieval period, say 15th to 18th century, totally different the sources are. The sources are Persian chronicles, travel accounts, travelers, diaries of indigenous of our own country and of the Europe and other countries. So many types of materials you are getting and having more importance to study your own culture. So similarly, when you come to the modern period, you have totally different type of materials, your archival materials, your newspapers. So all can be related to your study of cultures, study of the heritage sites. What is missing in our discussion is how it continues, how it evolves, what are the causes of its continuity or break with the past traditions that we have. So these are some certain areas which we the scholars are to focus so that our history, Odisha history, will be an integrated one, and it will give a particular sense to our posterity. Thank you very much for giving me this time. We may have more time to discuss. I invite Sika Madam to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. I take the opportunity to offer the vote of thanks to Professor Ashok Kumar Patnaik, sir, who has focused very beautifully on an important topic that in the colonial period we have a lot of monuments in Baleshwar, but due to the course of the time, depending on the usage of this monument, the name has been changed. Some name has been changed from school to college, but we, the student of the history and the common people, they are not understanding the real history that has been hidden behind the original name. Thank you, sir, for highlighting to preserve this culture and to understand the real history, not to interpret the things like it is today, but also we have to think that what it was in ancient time or in medieval time, and how it can be preserved, how the message can be sent to the future generations. Thank you very much, sir. I would like to thank Dr. Jeevan Patnaik, sir, who has highlighted and has shown a complete portrait of the past legacy of Odisha, specifically on Buddhism, particularly through the slide of the excavation of Lalitagiri. Definitely the students, they have been benefited with his talk. I would like to request, like to extend my thanks to Professor Sanjay Acharya, sir. Due to the shortage of time, we couldn't listen to him, but tomorrow in the plenary session too, he will be delivering his topic, his talk. And I would like to extend my heartiest thanks to Professor Ellen Rao, sir, to chair this session, and he also very beautifully has concluded the today's plenary session one. Thank you. Yes, I request all the participants to go to the HRDC for the lunch, and I request the resource person we have lunch in the guest house. After that, we will have the two technical sessions parallel wise. The first technical session will be continued here in this conference hall, and the second, the intangible one, that will be held in the conference hall of social science building, academic one. So after the lunch, I expect all of the participants to be very disciplined and to be present in both of the hall respectively.